Paul George gave himself the nickname Playoff P for his clutch play in the postseason, but so far that play has not been seen in the bubble. Through 4 games, George is shooting 29% from the floor and 22% from 3 while averaging just over 15 points. Twitter roasted George yesterday for his 9-point performance on 3 of 14 shooting. So, Shannon, how much do the Clippers trust him going forward?
Well, they don't have any choice but to trust him, Skip. Because I'm sure the guys in the locker room like, man, when are we going to see the guy that finished third in the MVP voting last year? Skip, he demanded a trade for this. Contrary to what he wants to say, we decided to part ways. No, you went to Sam Presti and said you wanted to come to the Clippers because you and Kawhi had been communicated and you wanted to link up. Skip, look, when he went to OKC, I don't think anybody thought Russ and PG were going to upset the Warriors. But when he came to the Clippers, the Lakers, the Clippers, and the Bucks were the 3 teams that everybody said of more than likely 95% chance of holding up that trophy. So the expectations for him here are different than what they were in any other place, in any other time in his career. And he has not. Now, we haven't seen him play this bad, but we've seen him come up small. Skip, as I mentioned before, 2 of 16 in Game 6 elimination game, OKC against the Jazz. 5 points, Russ goes for 46. He was 5 of 21 in an elimination game. They got swept by LeBron. LeBron's last year in Cleveland. 15 points.
Game 1, what happened at the end?
He passed it up to C.J. Miles and said, C.J. got to give me the ball back.
Thank you.
So we've seen him play bad in games and big moments, Skip. But I don't know if we've seen him play this bad over an extended stretch in the playoffs. Game 2, 4 of 17. Game 3, 3 of 16. Game 4, 3 of 14. Of 79 players, Skip, that attempted at least 25 shots, he's shooting the worst field goal percentage at 29.
He is.
So, for me, Skip, they don't really have a choice. You can't bench the guy.
Nope, I agree. Paul George is a very talented, complementary star who hasn't always been the mentally toughest guy and who constantly lets social media get to him. He let it get to him the other night. Well, now you're just a basket case of nerves and doubt and lack of confidence. But to your point, you're damned if you do or don't. You're stuck with him because you made your bed with this guy. He is your complementary star. So I have seen him in stretches. I've seen him go crazy hot, too. So Doc Rivers is stuck. Maybe he could talk him out of this. Chris Broussard said they had words yesterday. But you have to keep telling him to shoot. Kawhi has to keep saying, just keep shooting. But shoot it like you mean it. Yesterday, he didn't shoot one shot like he meant it.
Skip, that's not his makeup. James Harden missed 25 shots. He's going to shoot another one. He's going to shoot. Luka Doncic, Skip, he airballed 3 of them. But he's taking the last shot at the end of the game. That's not how he it takes a special type of a person to miss. Like, well, the next one going to go and watch this.
A couple of times he shot pure shots yesterday, but for the most part, especially fourth quarter overtime,
like aiming it, hoping it goes
just like and it's shaky. It's like a little off, and they don't. The shots are wide right or wide left, so he's not even stroking it pure.
Skip, if you give yourself a name, you give yourself a nickname. Playoff P. He's just gonna say, hey,
Playoff P.
But like he had just blitzed through the playoffs, and he was just dropping 35, 40 whatever. But if you give yourself a nickname, you got to live up to it. Okay, what people want to say, LeBron says he's the chosen one. Well, it's hard to say that he hasn't lived up to that. Or you want to say Kobe gave himself the name Black Mamba. Well, Kobe lived, whatever you want to say. But normally people give you the nickname because of something that you've done. Okay, Shaq gave Paul Pierce the name The Truth because every time, big shots, he was answering, so he's the truth. But if you give yourself a nickname, Skip, you damn sure better live. I didn't give myself the nickname Big Play Shake. They gave me that in Baltimore because every time they needed a big play, I made it. So if you give yourself Playoff Paul, you better play Playoff P, well, you better come up big in the damn playoffs.
I hate to admit this publicly, but the Clippers are not going to survive the Mavericks unless he snaps out of his slump. He's got to snap out of it, and he's going to have a couple of pretty to very big games, or they're going to lose. They're without Pat Beverly, who's their energizer, their edge player on defense. So you better make some key shots.
Well, Skip, if he says, you know what, my shot's not falling, Doc, give me Luka. I'm going to focus all of my energy on shutting Luka down.
Yep.
Okay, Lou, Kawhi, other guys, you guys are going to be responsible for scoring. I'm going to dedicate all my energy, all my focus is to make his life a living hell for 45 minutes. That's my job right now. If your shots are not falling, Skip, I get it. Maybe that's the approach you need to take. But they don't have a choice. They can't sit him down. Because
from here on, they're going to double Kawhi Leonard and dare number 13 to shoot.
You better.
Number 13 has been very unlucky.
You better.
Whew.
It's interesting how the bubble play is working for some, not as well for others, so we'll have to see. Guys, more action in the bubble tonight. Lakers, Blazers, will LeBron
Here we go.
Standing 3-1 series lead, and we explain after. Damian Lillard led his team with 34 points in Game 3, but couldn't get the win for Portland, who now finds themselves down 2-1 to the Lakers. Dame had 7 points in the fourth quarter, but was 1 for 6 from the floor and missed all 4 of his 3-point attempts. And after the game, he said it just wasn't the Blazers' night to make shots. So, Shannon, what happened to Dame time?
Well, Dame was Dame. Skip, I think the thing is that as you become a more elevated player in this league, the expectations greatly increase. And because Dame has thrust himself into the superstar stratosphere, there's more expected of him. And when things don't go well, he knows. When things didn't go well with the Bulls, they lost. They go to Mike. What happened? When the Celtics, it was buried. The Magic, it's the same thing. And so that's where Dame is now, Skip. When they don't win, they're going to ask Dame what happened. Dame, even though he might score 40, if he didn't get those, if he doesn't score 12, 15 points in the fourth quarter, people are asking the questions, well, Dame, what happened to you? Well, he had 27 through 3 quarters, which kept him in the ball game. Because just when you thought Lakers about to get a surge here come Dame hitting timely threes, off-balance threes, and he's still trying to be aggressive. Skip, for Dame Lillard to be 6'1", and to say, you know what, I'm going to turn the corner, and I'm going down, and I'm going to flush, and I'm going to get my bench involved in this ball game, let you know his mindset, like he is not afraid of Jack. For him to even think he could even do it, let alone attempt it, to even the thought process. And had Anthony Davis not been AD who he is, that could have turned the game around and got the Blazers back into this ball game and really gave them a surge that they needed. But Dame is fine. I don't worry about Dame. Dame Lillard is going to do Dame Lillard.
You don't worry about him because you're a Laker fan.
No. Dame is going to get you 35. But CJ got off, and CJ cooled in the middle one day. They need to go simultaneous. They're going to need to be somewhere, Skip, around probably 65, 70 points between the two of them to beat the Lakers.
So I need to reset my watch because now you're explaining to me that Dame time is actually first through third quarter time.
Dame time is all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a stopwatch. You just keep running. Just keep going.
Well, while LeBron was mean-mugging him, I got you, Dame. Dame was going 1 for 6 and 0 for 4 from 3. And I'm like, I don't know. I just need to see Dame time. I just show me one where you just say, I got this. I take over this game.
You saw it in Game 1 when he was getting done with it. He was back there dancing.
Yeah, he made 3 threes in the middle of the quarter.
Okay.
And then he didn't take it home because, remember, Melo and Gary Trent Jr. took it home with the 2 biggest threes that closed the door on your Lakers, who were up 6 with 7 minutes left. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's not LeBron time. I don't know whose time it is.
It's always.
But I keep waiting. I keep telling everybody, last year against no KD Golden State, 4 straight fourth quarters, he had all kinds of opportunities to take the game over against Steph and Clay. It's a 50-50. I got CJ. I'm a superstar. And CJ can be a superstar every once in a while for stretches. And he shot 29% from 3 in those 4 fourth quarters and in overtime, and 31% from the field. And he's doing it again against your Lakers. 31% from the floor, 33% so far from 3. But maybe tonight's the night. Maybe the next night will be the night. He's got 2 more opportunities to show me Dame time. Come up big. You say he's special. Yeah. I haven't seen special in fourth quarters.
Yeah. But you've seen special throughout the entirety of the game. Skip, we got to see, you pinpoint it, and then when he comes up big in the fourth quarter, you say, well, he should have come up big because he didn't do anything in the first 3 quarters, and he was the reason they were in the hole in the fourth quarter. So I'm just trying to figure out, I'm just trying to find out
when Dame time is.
You know what Dame time is.
It's not in the fourth quarter.
Yes, it is. It's always his time.
Really?
He's the reason why the games are even close. Without Dame going bonkers in the first half, these games would be over at halftime. Like your team got out the 21-point lead, and what happened? Without Porzingis. So where's Kawhi? When is Kawhi's time?
I'm just waiting for Dame time.
It's Dame time all the
I'm
time.
waiting for him to wave bye to the Lakers, but and maybe he could. You could even it up tonight.
Skip. It's the 8th seed.
Okay.
Really?
Well, you told me it's the most dangerous 8th seed in the history of the playoffs.
It's still an 8th seed.
Oh.
That's still what they are.
Okay.
Okay, I get that. Yes, they're dangerous. We don't normally see 8 seeds that have this kind of firepower, especially, well, I mean, you got to go back to Jordan, his rookie year, when the 1-8 matchup was Bird, the Celtics versus the Bulls, to find somebody that had a player with this kind of firepower on their roster. It doesn't happen.
So Damian Lillard went a stretch of the equivalent of 2 straight fourth quarters over the games against Brooklyn and Memphis in Game 1 against the Lakers without scoring a single basket. And I'm saying, is that a superstar? It's a star, but you put a big old Caps SUPER in front of his name.
First of all, let me ask you a question. If I make 26 free throws, do I not get 26 points? So free throws are points, right?
Sure.
So although he's not making 5, 6, 7 field goals, he's going to the line making 6, 7 points through the free throw line, because you said those are free. And so that if he's capitalizing on those are points, right? Okay.
You should be very happy you're playing Damian Lillard. That's what you should be happy
Why
about.
am I happy?
Because it's not been Dame time.
Oh, my goodness.
He's had his moments. I feel like we have to acknowledge that. Game 4 tonight. We'll see if Dame can tie it up. Guys, is Paul George, or as Skip likes to say, George Paul, not doing enough to help Kawhi get a second straight title? What is he doing? We explain next.